Perpetual Protocol Community Call. This is number 35. Really great to have you back, and especially happy for myself because it's been about a month since I've been on a community call, or maybe more. It's been way too long. So I missed everybody and really happy to be back. And this time on the call, we have a lot of our usual guests, so get excited. To start, we've got, well, actually, I don't know if you can see the people, but we have Houston. Hi again, Houston.
Hey, everybody.
There's Houston. Yeah, we have fancy new production features today, so give us some feedback on it. Tell us what you think. All right, so in addition to Houston, we've got Andrew. Hi, Andrew.
Hey, Lee. Hey, everybody.
Great to see you, Andrew. And of course, as always, we have Leonie. Hi, Leonie. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Hope you are doing well.
All right. Excellent. And at the control desk, making the images big is Hannah. Hey, Hannah. Great to see you
Hey,
again.
I'm making the images big. I'm the one.
So if you notice that Hannah is always the image that's bigger, you'll know why. She's showing herself. All right. So since Hannah is at the controls today, it will be me actually hosting the call. So hopefully everyone's not too disappointed. If you have any complaints about it, just let us know, and we'll find someone else to be the controller, and Hannah will go back to hosting.
No.
All right. So we started a new thing last week, which is to have a, well, actually, hold on. All right. We won't start with that right away. Another segment that we started, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, is to chat about some news that's happened recently. And of course, the biggest news that's been out today or out recently since the last call is the merge. I'm assuming basically everybody on this call has heard about it. It's like the biggest news in Ethereum, maybe the biggest news in crypto in the last, maybe all year. I don't know. It's like, I can't think of any like really major crypto news. That was good news. There's some bad news. So in terms of good news, the merge is a pretty big one. So I'm assuming everybody's heard a lot about it, and you're going to hear a little more about it. What are you guys, any thoughts about the merge?
I think I recall saying on the last call that it felt like a lot like Y2K. It felt like, we were all ramped up about the potential for things to, blow up. But then, I remember, celebrating on January the 1st in 2000. It was just like another day. And that's kind of what it felt like this time around as well. And I woke up the next day. I could not stay up that late because I'm too old now. So I stayed up as late as I could. And yeah, woke up and it's like, yeah, the world's still going. So I was happy to see that was completed. And the interesting takeaway for me is that gas prices remain quite low. So I didn't realize I was a byproduct of the merge, but I'll take it.
Actually, Houston is not as old as he says. It's just that he has kids, so he needs to wake up early,
That's
get the kids ready for school and stuff. So yeah, he's not that old. But there's definitely some excitement. In Houston, there was a big, massive spike in gas fees actually right after the merge, but then they went down quickly. So I guess you were sleeping through that. Definitely were sleeping through.
Yeah, I wasn't buying any NFTs at that time.
There were some limited time NFTs. I know in our team chat, there's some people chatting about NFTs that you could only mint within like 100 blocks or something of the merge. I did not manage to snag one of those, but I think some of our team members did. Anyone grab one of those?
Is it from the one from Messari or maybe it's not? Because I claimed some merge specific NFTs, but I don't think it's under 100 blocks. It should be really hard, right? You have to write some script to do it. Is that
I don't know.
Is that the reason for the high gas at the beginning after the merge?
Possibly. Yeah, possibly. I don't think you had to write a script because I know for sure some of our team members knew about it like literally after the merge had already started, and were able to claim it within a very short time. Now there are some of the like hardcore power users on our project, so it's possible that they whip something up quickly. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I think there were a few different NFTs, and some of them, I think from ETH Global, for example, they had a live stream, and that one was just time-based and not block-based until when you could mint it. But I also didn't end up minting one. And I agree with Houston. It was always like, oh, when's the merge gonna happen? And then it was postponed so many times. So it's like this event that you're like looking towards to, and then all of a sudden it's over. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
The big question is, what did you guys do with your proof of work coins?
Oh,
you feel like
sold
sharing?
it
Did you guys dump them, or are
immediately.
you holding them?
I remember I sold it on FTX, and I remember the price was like $10. And it went down from 30 and then to 10. And I don't know right now. How about you guys?
I'm hodling.
Really?
I
I'm
mean,
a long-term
even
guy. Long-term
ETC pumps in bull markets, so it'll be back.
Are you
I
sure?
remember when Uniswap did that. They had a drop a while back to anyone who had used their token, and it was set. They when they released it, I think it was at like 20 cents a token. Everyone got like 4,000. I mean, now it's trading, I don't know, in the dollars. So I hold.
There we go.
Really? Are you guys talking about ESW? Really?
Yes, that token.
Okay. I'm gonna check the price now. I thought the best practice is to sell it right away.
I mean, it's not a
you
bad
guys
idea.
are degen.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, but the market is totally irrational. Like, it'll pump at some point, I'm sure. You just, yeah.
All right.
Like
Yeah,
same
my
with
strategy-
Bitcoin back in the day when Bitcoin had a fork for, what's that called? Bitcoin Cash. 2016, I think it was. A lot of people sold right away, and I held on. Ended up making quite a bit of money on that one. So you never know. You never know. I mean, I don't actually have a lot of ETH, so if I sell now, I'm going to get like $50. I don't think it's worthwhile.
It's $6 now. Should I buy it
really?
back?
Oh, okay. That's more than I thought.
Buy it back like that.
No,
Gotta load up on ETH POW.
I doubt if there will be any apps on it.
Yeah, seriously. Went perpetual on ETH POW chain.
Okay, whoever asks this question, I'll respect.
We're gonna see a little spike in the price as Hannah starts buying all this back.
Yeah, that's Hannah. When you see the spike, that's Hannah.
I'm gonna buy it right now.
All right. Well, before we get too carried away with this topic, I guess we should continue with a community call. People are probably wondering what the heck's going on. So yeah, after that, we'll move on to our warm-up question of the week or the 2 weeks. So this week's warm-up question is, if you have subscribed to our YouTube channel already, press 1. If you haven't subscribed, then now's the time to press that subscribe button. You can also turn on the bell to get notified when we go live, so you're sure to not miss the next community call. So do that now. All right. And as always, we'll just put a disclaimer at the beginning. This entire show, including anything we discuss, is not financial advice. So don't make any trades based on what we say. We're just a bunch of people having fun here, and yeah, not financial
Except for the
advice.
part about ETH POW. That's, of course, financial advice.
No.
You must buy that now.
Great.
Joking,
I'll
of
listen
course.
to him.
Joking, of course. Yes.
All right. Yeah, if you want financial advice, you have to join the Perp Interactive with Houston tomorrow.
Yes. Do that.
Yes. Good
No,
plug.
jokes aside, that is also not financial advice. All right, so let's get started. I will share my screen. Okay, so this week's news, the sort of big news that's come out since the last community call is Lazy River. And I'm pretty sure we discussed about Lazy River. Actually, maybe I discussed it during the Perp Interactive. last week, but yeah, it must have been during Perp Interactive. So Lazy River is our staking program, staking 2.0. So finally, what this means is that now stakers on our staking 2.0 will receive perp rewards. Actually, the staking 2.0 contracts launched a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, but there were no rewards or anything. It was just launched as sort of a soft launch to let the team try out some stuff and make sure everything is working nicely. Now we are launching rewards on there. So if you stake your perp, you'll get vePERP, and you'll also get some perp rewards for that. And the rewards are proportional to how long you stake. The maximum staking period is 1 year, and the minimum is 1 week. Although if I'm not mistaken, if you want to get rewards, you have to stake for at least 2 weeks. So make sure you're staking for at least 2 weeks. Although, of course, to get the maximum reward, you'll want to stake for the whole 52 weeks. And you can actually re-stake every week to keep it at 52 and make sure that you're always receiving the maximum possible rewards. So check that out. Let's see. Yeah, we probably will have some questions about it. So if you have questions about how the staking works and stuff, save them until the end. We'll have a Q&A session, and we're happy to answer any questions you have about it. Basically, yeah, it is fairly simple in some ways, but I'm sure you'll have some questions, so just let us know. All right, so moving on from there, we've got some UI updates that I also went over in Perp Interactive. I would highly recommend checking out Perp Interactive. It's a great way to ask for any feature to be demoed or ask any questions that you have in a more informal setting, more personal setting, directly on our Discord. And as I mentioned before, well, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the call, actually. All right, so for UI updates, we do have a bunch of sort of small tweaks that we've integrated, and we'll be doing more of this as time goes by. Our design team was really busy with a bunch of design projects that we were working on, including the VE locking system for staking 2.0. So now that that's kind of done, they've been able to turn their attention back to the UI and roll out a bunch of features that have been kind of in the works for a while, but just they haven't gotten around to completing them and deploying them. So those are starting to show up, and there will be more. So look forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to it. There's a bunch of little tweaks and things to help make it more usable. So yeah, look forward to that. Just a sec. All right, continuing on. As hopefully everybody knows, we have user docs at support.perp.com. And we also started, our developer team started more developer-focused docs that was kind of in an unofficial stage for this last several months. But recently we've made that a more official thing, and those can be found at docs.perp.com. Andrew, do you want to give us a little bit more background on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think this is a pretty exciting thing that we've done, just because in the spirit of Web3, transparency and open source material is really important, as well as the fact that our project is so focused on giving partners and finding partners within our ecosystem to build on top of us. This is a really big step into making that process much easier. So if you are someone who has a cool idea, has a developing background, maybe not, but is interested, I highly recommend sifting through our docs so that you can start getting a better understanding as to what type of feasibility it is to actually build on top of us. And then we're also happy to help with that integration process too. So I just think it's something that's been a long time coming, and really happy that those are now out and released.
Yeah, for sure. And it is important to keep in mind that the docs are a work in progress, and we'll be adding more information to it as time goes by. I know a lot of people who are integrating with us have questions that probably aren't in there yet. So as usual, you can let your contact person with our team know, or you can just come to our Discord and ask either in the general channel or directly in the coding chat channel if it's coding related. And we're more than happy to help you out. And yeah, we'll also add that information to the docs as time goes by. So hopefully it'll become more and more complete. All right, so moving on into our marketing section for the last little while. We had a Twitter space. Actually, it happened this morning for me, and well, anyway, it was 10 a.m. Taiwan time, and then it was, I guess, 10 p.m. sort of East Coast time on Tuesday. You can check that out. It's recorded, and it was a really great discussion, actually. We had Frax, Ribbon, and our very own Yen1 co-founder on the Twitter Spaces, and it was hosted by me. So if you're not tired of me yet, you can go and check that out. Like I say, it was recorded, and it was a really great discussion. We covered a bunch of topics, including VE tokenomics, and learned some stuff about Frax and Ribbon, including things that are coming up for their projects. So definitely check that out. And like I say, it can be found on our Twitter, or you can subscribe to our newsletter. That's another great idea. And you can get the link directly in the newsletter, so you don't have to look around for it. All right, so moving on to Perp Interactive. I've sort of mentioned a little bit about it already in this call, but I'll let Houston take over since his Perp Interactive is coming up very soon. Houston?
That's right. So come join me tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to come hang out, it's about an hour call. If you're new to the protocol or want to see how it works, we usually do a little tour there. Of course, I'd like to highlight some of the new UI updates that Leo just dropped earlier on. So we'll play around with those, and of course, just check out some of the new features like advanced order types and walk through those if you never tried those before. So great opportunity to come hang out, ask questions, or just absorb if you're interested in learning more about Perpetual. And I'll drop the link into the chat pod. If you want to sign up, just go to that link there and sign up for tomorrow's session, again at 11 a.m. Eastern.
And Houston, where can you remind us where you host it?
Yeah, if you go to the link there, it'll then at the time of it'll send you a link to Zoom. So it's on Zoom, and yeah, you'll find all once you sign up.
Excellent. Yeah, we try and keep you on your toes. Houston hosts a Perp Interactive on Zoom, and I host mine on Discord. So we just want to make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah, I try to appeal to the Zoomers, and you go for the Discord people.
Excellent. We got all our bases covered that way.
That's it.
All right. So moving on, our next thing that happened recently is we have a new video out on OP as collateral. Leonie, do you want to walk us through that one?
Yeah, sure. So it's a tutorial video that basically shows you how you can use OP tokens as collateral on Perp v2. So that kind of introduces a new use case to the OP token. You might have gotten some airdropped, or you bought some, or maybe you're earning OP incentives through our pool party. So you can deposit those tokens as collateral on app.perp.com. It does have a collateral weight of 0.45, so that means 45% of the dollar value is available as collateral, and then you can basically start trading or providing liquidity. Yeah, so we are uploading different tutorials for use cases or how you can use Perp v2 on LensTube, but also YouTube. So I encourage everyone to follow us there.
Awesome. Sounds good. I need to check out LensTube. I haven't done that yet. That's something new to me. So yeah, if you haven't checked out LensTube, check it out. And hey, the first video to watch would be how to use OP as collateral. All right. Rolling on for things coming up. Yeah, we'll be looking forward to the first Lazy River distribution. So I talked a little bit earlier about the Lazy River staking program. If you lock your perp and get vePERP, then you'll be eligible for the perp rewards. So yeah, the sort of the next milestone will be actually distributing those rewards, and the first distribution will be happening tomorrow. So we used to distribute staking rewards on Monday. However, our new vePERP staking system borrows from the granddaddy of VE tokenomics, which is Curve, and Curve's code basically runs on a schedule based on Thursday. So yeah, every Thursday we will be sending out rewards for this staking 2.0 system. Yeah, so get excited. If you've already staked, then you'd be looking forward to some rewards tomorrow. If you haven't staked yet, then no problem. You still have time. Obviously, you won't get too many rewards tomorrow, but you can look forward to rewards the following Thursday. So check that out. All right, we've also got another community poker tournament coming up. This is becoming something of a tradition. So Andrew, do you want to let us know more about that?
Yeah, so pretty exciting. I mean, I'm a big fan of the poker tournaments. It looks like this one's going to be on Saturday, 24th at, let's see, sorry, let me get the right time. It's 11 a.m. Eastern time and 5 p.m. UTC. So that means we should expect Houston to make it because 11 a.m. should be within his time zone. I should be able to beat Hannah once again, as it's also within hers. And otherwise, I'm really looking forward to the first place prize. There's a bunch of things, including a poker hoodie, an NFT, $100 to the gift store. But most importantly, we have these unique perp poker cards being sent to the winner. And personally, that's what I'm most excited for. So unless someone's able to...
I don't think you would beat me again because last time it was my early morning and I was really sleepy. So I think I'll
For the record, last time it was like 4 a.m. for me.
Really?
So, yeah.
Okay.
Worse.
Actually, it was 9 a.m. for me. But it's still too early for me.
And Houston, can we get a commitment from you? Are you going to be in?
I don't know. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know if I want to show up and get my butt kicked. So.
Hey, you're a pro trader. You should be good at poker. I don't know why.
Not a pro poker player. I'll be ridiculed, and that'll be it.
Well, we will see. We'll have a bunch of people from the community,
Right.
a bunch of team members. The past two have been really fun, and the prizes are pretty exciting. So hopefully we'll see you guys all out there.
Yeah, those prizes are getting cooler and cooler. I have to say, I'm totally not a poker player myself, but it's starting to be tempting. So who knows? All right, we'll carry on with our community call here. The next item is the Optimism NFT Quest. Leonie, can you tell us more about that?
It's a really cool initiative by Optimism to kind of explore the Optimism debt landscape, which we're a part of. So you can complete different quests for all the different dApps that are on Optimism, 18 in total, and then you can earn those NFTs, which are super cute. And the Perpetual Protocol quest, for that one, you need to answer some quiz questions about the protocol and also place a trade with a position size of at least 100 USDC, which is quite doable. So I would suggest you go ahead and do that and claim the NFT, because it's obviously rumored that if you collect as many different NFTs as possible, there might be some benefits to it. And also it's just a super fun way to kind of explore the Optimism ecosystem.
Yeah, awesome. It's always great to have some incentives to go exploring. I'm definitely a fan of that. Yeah, if you have any questions about this, you can definitely let us know. I did see some people asking if they've made the trade already, why they haven't received the NFT. I'm sure there's some sort of process. It may take a little while. So yeah, we'll try and get the answer for that. But don't worry. If we promised you an NFT, we will. You will get it at some point, but sometimes it does take a little while.
How long people have to complete the missions?
I'm not 100% sure, but we can check with the Optimism or Galaxy team, which is like hosting the NFT, giving out the NFTs and claiming them. So we can check that and then give feedback to the community.
Yeah, good idea.
All right, excellent question, Houston. All right, moving along. Next item is regarding Messari Mainnet in New York. And this is sort of a yearly event and a pretty big one. And this year, our co-founder Yin-Wan will be there. In fact, he's already in the States now, and we'll be heading to New York for this very soon. So look out for the panel that he'll be on, called The Next Generation of DeFi Derivatives and Bonds, which of course includes Perpetual Protocol. Yeah, that should be pretty exciting. Last year's event had some interesting drama, so we'll see what happens this year. Hopefully the SEC won't be showing up. They're definitely not invited. All right. Okay, so moving along, we have, as usual, our monthly grants committee update. Andrew, do you want to take this one?
Do some other well-established projects. We do have a grant program in which if you're building a project but need some funding, if it can somehow either integrate with Perp or is within the scope of our roadmap, where you should definitely apply for a grant so that we can take a look at it and see if we can fund out some of the necessary financials behind your project. The most recent winner of the grant was RoboVault, which is a really exciting project. They build out delta neutral strategies. The way that they'll be integrating with Perp is actually building out an LP vault, so liquidity providing vault. So this will allow retail traders to invest their money into an automated liquidity strategy, which is great because, as we know, if people have tried, providing liquidity is a very, very difficult thing. So being able to tap into some expert strategies is something that I think, at least me personally, I'm very excited for.
That is super exciting. Yeah, looking forward to seeing that, trying that one out. All right, that just about wrapped it up. We do have one last item, which is the further readings. Leonie, do you want to introduce these?
Yeah, I can give a quick intro. So for the first one, virtual tokens, you might know that Perp v2 is built on top of Uniswap v3, which is an automated market maker for spot trading. So what actually happens behind the scenes is when you're trading on Perp, you're actually swapping virtual tokens in a Uni v3 pool. So that article explains what those virtual tokens are, which are basically like synthetic assets that don't have an intrinsic value, but we can use them for accounting purposes. And also gives examples what happens behind the scenes when you go long or short, or if you're LPing, like market making on Perp v2. So I think it's really good to understand better what goes on behind the scenes on Perp v2 or when you're trading or market making. And then the market review is actually a new section that we introduced because, I mean, we do have traders on the platform, so you might be paying attention to what's happening in the markets. So those reviews give an overview about the month prior, what was happening, like the most important events that were happening, also an overview of different assets, how they were trading, if they are going up or down in value. For August, for example, we also included a section on the Tornado Cash sanctions because they were like quite a big thing that was happening and a lot of talk about it in DeFi. So if you're not familiar with what those are, I suggest you read the article. And also it gives an overview of the upcoming events for the next month. So for September in that case, like for example, the Fed interest rate decision today. Yeah.
All right, great. Thanks for that. I know for sure the first one about virtual tokens, we get quite a lot of questions about, exactly how Perp uses the Uniswap pools and what you can do with the pools or what you can't do with them and how things work in the background. So that's a great resource and highly recommend people to check that out. I know I'll be probably linking to it frequently in the future. So that's really great. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the community call portion of the show, and next we'll have the Q&A. Houston, do you want to announce the NFT now, or when do you want to do that?
So let me just quickly talk about the NFT drop that we're gonna do now. So as we've been doing for the past couple of community calls. We're embedding the NFT link or the link to claim the NFT. Actually, Leonie, I don't know if you can share because I don't seem to have rights to drop it into the YouTube chat, but I can drop it and then into the chat here, and then
Sure.
and we can just share it on YouTube. And yeah, so if you click on that link there, you will see a feedback form. We always appreciate any feedback you can provide for us, as we're always trying to keep these calls fresh and make them better for you guys, the listeners. So the feedback form, the first link you'll see there is a link to the actual NFT. You can click on that now and claim it. But before you claim, make sure that you're claiming in a wallet you feel comfortable doxing. So if you do care about privacy, you do have some time to create a new wallet address. This link will be live until 12 p.m. Eastern. So you have like a couple hours, 2 hours and a half. So plenty of time to mint. There's no rush to run off there and to try to have to get into sort of a pressured situation. So claim the link. Claim the NFT, and please do leave some feedback for us. As I mentioned before, we always listen to all the feedback, and we try to incorporate as much of it into our calls as possible. Enjoy the NFT, guys.
Sounds good. You're also free to totally ignore Houston's advice and get it as fast as you can. It's always a good strategy. But like he says, we'll have it open a little bit longer than usual this time to let people have a chance to claim.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Thanks, Houston. So do we have any questions? I can't actually see the questions. So if someone is looking at the YouTube, or I can open it up. Or if someone can see the questions and just let me know what they are. Or actually, hold on. Stop sharing.
Chas wants to see Leonie talk more.
That's not a question, is it?
Not really, no.
More of a request.
Feedback for next time.
Yeah, that's feedback.
Leonie's time is very valuable. We can't really afford to have her talking too much, guys. Sorry.
Okay, looks like we got one on YouTube. What's the APY for Lazy River?
That's a great question, and I don't think we're going to know the answer until the first rewards come out. I don't. Does it show somewhere? I actually didn't. I looked at it today and I didn't see anywhere it says the APR.
I think there's no real APR because it's based on the amount of trading fees that are generated. So I think it's 10% of those with a cap of 25K perp.
All right, so that's a little complicated, and basically it's going to mean, you have to wait for receiving the actual rewards. So if you're really concerned about APR, then I would recommend you just wait a bit. You can see what the rewards look like tomorrow. And take a wait and see approach.
Yeah, I think it's also hard to calculate the APR upfront because it always depends on how many people are locking their perp for how long. So basically, there's not a real way to calculate it before we take the actual snapshot.
If you want to maximize your potential, though, you just want to lock up more perp because that would make you a larger player in the pool.
As much as possible and for as long as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in this case, fortune favors the brave, although that's not financial advice. So Any other questions on YouTube?
No, doesn't look like it.
All right, I don't believe you guys, so I'm going to go and look for myself. All right, we do have one guy who claims he's a diamond hashtag boss with his APR in the pool is over 100%. Well done, sir. Keep up the good work. Okay, so in the when you provide liquidity on Perp, you get an APR depending on how many fees you receive. It's a ratio of the fees you receive and the amount of liquidity you provide. So our design team, just for fun, added some like tiers to make it more interesting. And I believe the top tier is diamond, although I kind of forget. It's been a while since I actually was in one of the tiers. But I think there's like bronze, silver, gold, diamond, this kind of thing. So it's really just for fun. It's based entirely on your own APR. It's not a rank to compete with other LPs. I think also it may tie in eventually to what do they call that? A Flex card, where you can like take a screenshot or download the screenshot of this APR and share it on social media to show people basically what this Farika is doing. So yeah, great job. Diamond is definitely a good one.
Genius LP.
Yeah. All right. And we do have a question from, I'm sorry I can't pronounce your name because it's written in Cyrillic. It says, hi, is that correct formula to calculate the personal APR aggregate fees in the past 7 days divided by 7 times 365 divided by TVL? I think the answer is yes. I think you also asked this question on Discord, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it would be your own fees across 7 days. Or if, let's say, you only provide for a short time, then it would still be, I believe, divided by 7. Anyway, I'll have to clarify that for you on Discord. It's a little complicated, I will admit. So people who are trying to figure out their personal APR, it is a little complicated, and it's based on some estimates. I mean, APR is essentially for the whole year. So if you're trying to estimate your APR based on your fees now, it's a little bit unrealistic to expect that you'll have the same amount of fees over the entire year. So it's really sort of a ballpark. And to give you an idea of like how you're performing right now compared to, let's say, yesterday or tomorrow, so you can see the APR going up and down, that really gives you an idea of your performance right now compared to yourself, essentially. So I would recommend, if you're using this APR, that's the best way to think about it, because it's pretty hard to say, you know, can you maintain the same APR all year? Like, that's going to be pretty hard, right? So it's sort of like a speedometer to show your speed, you know, your rate of progress right now, but it will go up and down. And the goal really would be to try and keep that at a certain level or higher. And then you'll know, okay, you're earning a certain amount of money. I guess, you know, you could look at your daily income and sort of go from there. But in terms of like caring a whole lot about really what the number is itself, I would say is pretty tough. But you're always welcome to come and ask. And yeah, this user, I'll definitely take another look at his question on YouTube. Thanks again for raising it here. And we have a second question from Farika, the guy with the diamond level LP APR. And the question is regarding the estimated rewards. And it's actually, sorry, it's actually a very good question. He's asking why his estimated rewards for OP and perp are different. I've noticed that too, and I'm not exactly sure. Oh, hold on. Claimable. Oh no, I'm sorry. The question is why his estimate is one thing and claimable is another. Okay, so claimable rewards are rewards that you already received and you can claim them now. Estimated rewards are rewards that, in theory, you could receive if you continue LPing the way you are now. The estimate is actually very difficult to calculate because basically it's trying to anticipate future fees that you will earn in proportion to the entire pool. Obviously, that's like pretty hard to predict. Like you could suddenly increase the amount of fees you're receiving compared to the rest of the pool, or the rest of the pool could suddenly start, earning a lot of fees and you don't earn as many fees. So the estimate can really change pretty dramatically. So really, the estimate is only accurate, I would say, just before the rewards are sent out, when we have basically the data for the entire week. So especially at the beginning of the week, those rewards are, the estimate, is pretty unreliable. However, the developer in charge of this feature was mentioning to me yesterday that they've got a new way of calculating it that will be based on more of a day-by-day calculation. So the estimate should improve. I'm not exactly sure when they're going to launch that feature, but the estimate will improve. Hopefully, it should be pretty quick. I think, in the next few days or at most a week or two, we'll have that new calculation method rolled out and you'll see an improvement in the estimates. Regardless, however, like I say, because the estimate is trying to predict, trying to predict the weather, maybe it'll be right. The sort of ideal situation is that it's right more than 50% of the time, but you will still have a large proportion of the time when it's not really correct. Hi, Evan Law. Nice to see you. Yeah, if you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat on YouTube. I'll also just head over to Discord and see if there's any questions. Not at the moment. I guess we'll wait a few more seconds to see if there's any last-minute questions. We're happy to answer. And as always, if your question doesn't get answered in time or something, you think of the question later, just come to our Discord, let us know in the general channel or support channel. Or, if it's an LP related question, we have a maker strategy chat. If it's a coding related question, we have a coding chat. So just let us know in any of those spots what your question is. We'll be happy to answer. All right, Evan Law has a great question. Read quoter contract error. So this is actually a fairly common error that pops up, and it's basically related to losing the connection between either the UI and the RPC, or it's sort of a connection error, or the connection has timed out. So normally, if you just refresh the page, it should fix the problem. If it doesn't fix the problem, it means that the UI is having trouble connecting with the node. So if you're having this problem persistently, then I think the best course of action would be to open a ticket with us on Discord. We have a channel called Open a Ticket. You can just go in there. There's a button. You press the button. It opens a private channel with the team. And we'll probably ask you roughly where you're located and what RPC you're using and some other information to try and figure out what's causing this connection issue. Also, if you're using a VPN, we'd recommend turning off the VPN. You shouldn't need a VPN really in any country. I mean, we do geo-block a couple of countries. In theory, if you use a VPN, it's against our terms of service for the use of the website itself. So we don't recommend that. But that's only for a very small number of countries. So I kind of doubt that'll be the issue. But if you are using a VPN, for example, in China or another country, you can try turning it off, seeing if that improves. Or you can change the VPN server if you're using a VPN for privacy reasons. I just realized, I don't know if Hannah's doing it on purpose, but you cannot see her on the YouTube video.
Better.
Of course, having you looks the best. Come on. There we go. All right, so we haven't had any new questions for a couple of minutes, so we might just call it a night or a morning, depending on where we are. As I've said before, if you have any other questions, just let us know in our Discord. And we've also got a Telegram group. Yeah, just let us know. And we're happy to answer. And yeah, I guess that's a wrap. And we will see you again in 2 weeks. Except for Houston. Houston, we'll see you tomorrow at Perp Interactive.
Yes.
Be there.
Remember to sign up.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.